What's going on, everybody? I'm Caleb Ochoa, also known as NFL Caleb 22, and this is Good Friends, Better Rivals. But once again, I don't have my good friend and better rival, Ferris Muthana, with me here today. That's unfortunate. We haven't had him for the last couple of weeks, but we're gonna move past it. It's all good. But hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving because I know I had a great Thanksgiving because my Dallas Cowboys just whooped some ass, baby. I mean, we all saw it. I mean, everybody was watching. Everybody's on Thanksgiving dinner watching my Dallas Cowboys just kick the shit out of the Washington Commanders. Say what's up to my dad. What's going on? But yeah, I mean, it was a great day for me. Hopefully, it was a great day for y'all. But we'll get into it. We'll get into that. We'll get into that game. We'll get into what happened last week with the Giants and Commanders as well, because we do talk Giants and we do talk Cowboys on this channel, on this show. So we'll get into that game and we'll get preview both the Giants Patriots game and the Cowboys and Seahawks game that comes on next Thursday night for that game next week. But before we do that, if you guys can help us out by subscribing to the channel if you have not already, also hitting that like button would definitely help us out, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified with all our shows that are live. We do this show live. We do NFL live and much more shows on this channel. So definitely hit the notification button. And if you really want to help us out, join our Patreon. The link is in the description down below. Join whatever tier that suits you. We would very much appreciate if y'all do that. But now we'll get into I'll get into what happened last week first. I'll get into Giants Commanders for my co-host Ferris Muthana. His Giants did get a big upset win versus the Commanders. They it was a big win for them, considering they were terrible and they were rolling out freaking Tommy DeVito. Well, I appreciate that, Ferris. They're rolling out Tommy DeVito out there against Washington. So there wasn't much hope for them, and they were like a 7.5 point underdog. So they were fighting a big uphill battle, but they got it done. They got the upset. They got the upset win. Tommy DeVito had a hell of a game. He threw like a 246 for like 3 touchdowns. He was great. They got a ton of turnovers on the Commanders. They turned over the ball 6 times in that game. Somehow was not very good. Like, he was throwing picks, he was fumbling the ball. He was doing everything he could do to lose that game, and that's exactly what did end up happening. They did lose that game. They still had a chance in the end. It was still like a 1-score game. Going, on their final drive, and then guess what happens? He throws another pick 6, and Washington takes it back, and then it ends up being a 31-19 win for the New York Giants. So like I said, good on them. Barkley, had a pretty good day, 83 yards. As well. So they had some, at least some offense going for them. Still, their offensive line is still holy shit bad, because DeVito gets sacked 9 times. So it's not just Daniel Jones getting sacked like crazy. DeVito gets his share of sacks as well. Even with the Commanders not having their 2 best passers, they got rid of them, both Young and Sweat. They still were able to get after DeVito with this terrible Giants offensive line, not able to protect him, but still, he was still able to do what he needed to do to get this win. So good for them. I mean, I did pick the Giants on Friday on the last show. So I'm happy that I was right. I told you all the Giants just win. They can throw whatever team, whatever players. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Doesn't matter who's out there. Giants will beat the Commanders, and that's what they have done for the past I don't know how many years. I mean, they just play well against Commanders. Like I don't get it. I don't know why. Commanders just lose to the New York Giants, no matter how bad that team. Say what's up to Adelia. How you doing? Yeah. So, I mean, for some reason, Giants have the Commanders number. Um, that just happens sometimes with rivals. Sometimes it just happens with particular teams. They just can't beat one another. And that's just the case here. Giants keep their streak up against the Commanders. Haven't lost them in a while, so good for them. Good for them. So it doesn't do much for them. I mean, it just makes it worse. Just kind of makes their draft pick worse to go and try to get a quarterback. So I'm happy about that. They keep worsening their chances at that. So as long as they want to keep winning, they can go ahead and get these meaningless wins and keep making their draft pick worse. So I'm all for that. But yeah, not too much for that game. I mean, like I said, big upset wins, but it's two bad teams in the NFC East going at it, and not really much to say there. It doesn't really have any playoff implications or any real implications on the rest of the NFL. Just a good old fashioned, a rival and rival winning that one. But we'll get into another rival unrival game, and that's what happened yesterday on Thanksgiving. Y'all know you watched it. Y'all watched this amazing ass kicking that we gave to the Commanders. We beat them 45-10. We get our 13th straight home win. Going back to last year, we're really building a great home field advantage at home at AT&T Stadium. Very proud to say that. Love that. Love that our fans are in it. A good home field to play on. The biggest story of the game has got to be DaRon Bland. I mean, I've been talking about him since last season. And then he goes out there. He breaks the record for the most pick sixes in a single season. He gets his fifth pick six of the season. That is the record. And he did it with 6 games left to go in the season. There were 6 games left to go in the season, and he still broke the record. That's how amazing this is. I mean, it's really something. I was going wild. I was going crazy. As soon as he intercepted, I was like, run. I was hoping he got there, and he did get there, and it was just a huge celebration. I was going crazy. I love to see it. Oh, man, it was a great moment for him. Great record to have. And I got to say, this guy needs to Player of the Year. I don't give a crap what the hell Myles Garrett is doing over there in Cleveland. I don't care. I mean, this is something that's never been done before. DaRon Bland broke this record. Never been done. He also, and he's having better numbers than what Stephon Gilmore had in his Defensive Player of the Year when he won it. So I mean, he should be up there. He should be right there with Myles Garrett in the conversation. And I think he is the Defensive Player of the Year. He's playing that great. I said he was just as good as Trey Young. He may be better. Because he's not as big as a gambler. I think he's very calculating when he's going for these picks. He knows when to go for it, when not to go for it, when to play the guy. I mean, he's very calculating when he's going up against his receiver. I don't think he's gambling. Trey Young is a little bit of a gambler, but that's because he's been a receiver, so he kind of knows, and that's a little bit different between them. But yeah, everybody said our secondary was going to be very good without Diggs, but I mean, it's been just fine with DaRon Bland. So yeah, extremely excited for him. Was awesome to see that. Also, credit to the defense all around. Because obviously everyone gets sacks against Sam Howell. He's like the most sacked quarterback, but you wouldn't think it would be from a guy who's a run stopper and Jonathan Hankins. We all knew, Parsons was going to, get in there, but Jonathan Hankins just come up from the middle, gets 2 sacks. Like that's how this difference in this game. Like I did not expect that for him to do what he did in this game. Like he was just pushing that middle because usually he's a run stopper, but for him to get that these couple sacks here, big credit to him. Also, I'll give credit to Sam Howell. I mean, he was getting it down the field. Like he was driving it on us. He was working down the field for most of the game. He got 300 yards in this game. He was throwing it pretty well, pretty decently in it to his guys on when he was backed up on third downs. So definitely credit to him. I thought he was doing pretty well until he got that pick six. Of course, he was just trying to make something happen, just forcing it. I mean, you're down a lot, but he was doing his best to try to keep him in it. Just it doesn't have enough on that team. Doesn't have the offensive line to protect them. And then so just big credit to our defense to contain that rush. That was the concerning part I had facing the Commanders, which because they ran the ball really well on the New York Giants. I mean, I know it's the Giants, it's whatever, but they still I didn't know if they were going to be able to build on that, keep running the ball like they did against the Giants. They weren't able to. They didn't really establish a running game against us. We were pretty good at containing them. So good for them because we have problems stopping the run, and we didn't really have too much of an issue with containing what they were doing on the ground there. And then someone finally had a 100-yard game on us receiving, not 100-yard game, because we've been having these games where we're not allowing nor a 100-yard rusher or a 100-yard receiver. Finally, it happened. Curtis Samuel just barely got to 100 yards even, but still not allowed a 100-yard rusher yet. But Samuel did, and that's just it just shows why both me and Ferris before the season we were very high on these Washington receivers. We thought they were the best receiving corps in the division, and this shows why. Because Curtis Samuel is like their third receiver, and he did pretty well against us. We thought Dotson would probably take a bigger step forward. He has not really. And of course, Terry McLaurin is still Terry McLaurin. He's still really good. Just wasn't able to do much in the game against us yesterday. But still, I hate to see that streak go, but it is what it is. Wasn't that big of a deal for our defense, but overall, great job by the defense. I mean, we held them 10 points. We shut them out in the second half, and that just really helps us take off and get that 45 points when Ron Bland took it to the house. And then, on the other side, Dak. I mean, what can I say about Dak Prescott? I mean, he continues once again to have an awesome game. He was 22 of 32 for 331 yards and 4 touchdowns and 0 picks, even with all the nonsense about, he throws so many picks. Oh, he's a turnover machine. Oh, that's all nonsense. It was always nonsense. He's always known that to take care of the ball, and he's been taking care of the ball all season. He's having an awesome year. Obviously people want to throw him in the MVP conversation. I think, once he gets that signature win, you can put him in there. Obviously he's having a great season. Beating up on these bad teams. He just needs that signature win to really, put the stamp on. Okay, he's a real MVP candidate. And I think we'll see that. I think we'll see that going forward once we get into the harder part of his schedule. And I think he'll do the same. And just in this game alone, from the beginning, he saw where he he saw the middle was open. Like that's why he was going deep right away. And he was just kind of missing a little bit at the beginning. But then once he got settled, he was on point with it. I mean, he was on with all his downfield passes. He was spreading that out to everybody. And that's why I love to see just him just getting it to all of the receivers, all his revenue, utilizing everybody. And he's not picking just one guy or forcing it to anybody. He's getting to the open guy, and that's how we're moving the ball. That's how we're scoring a lot of points. So I'd love to see that. And again, I don't know. We with all this passing, it just doesn't seem like we can get really a run game. Or maybe that's just the plan. That's just his offense. That's how McCarthy wants to call his plays. He says he wants to run the damn ball. Now, not doing too much of that in the recent weeks because Tony Pollard before this game had 3 straight games of 12 carries, and now he has 13 carries in this game. So it's kind of like this is how many carries Tony Pollard is going to get. Still was able to do really well. I think that's on purpose. It's definitely helping his average because he had a 6.1 run average and scored a touchdown in this game. So definitely he scored a touchdown last 2 games. So I think this limited amount of carries actually is helping him because, like I said, he shouldn't be getting a whole bunch of carries. I said that since the last 2 years. Like, no, you can't give him all these carries. It's not going to do well. It's going to hurt his average. But when you give him less carries, it'll up his average and he'll be more explosive. And you saw it on the run. You saw it on touchdown run. Both touchdown runs this week and last week have been some really, really tough runs that he was just kind of pushing in right into the end zone. And that's explosiveness we hadn't seen previously in the season, just because he's been getting so much of the workload in those carries. I think this limited amount of carries thing that they've been doing is actually helping him, and that's why you've seen this production out of them. And then as far as the offensive line, they were fantastic, in this game. Dak day to throw the ball. Like he was just sitting back there waiting for his guys to get open, and he was just picking that secondary apart. Plenty of that. He only got hit twice in this game. That's just a complete tribute to the offensive line. They were really good. Tyler Smith been freaking awesome this whole season. He might be doing the best out of all the offensive linemen this season. So really, really good job by the offensive line. And obviously, same reason why for the Commanders, they got rid of their big rush guys, the big pass rushers, and that probably was a part of it. But overall, the offensive line still had a great day. So love to see that. I mean, just a great day for everybody. I mean, it was just a great day. It was a great Thanksgiving Day game, at least if you're a Cowboys fan, because I mean, I love to see a 45-10 win on Thanksgiving. And it's just it was just a fun game for me and for the Cowboys. They were having fun. The Dallas Cowboys were having fun. I mean, you saw them with the turkey in the kettle. I mean, they went in there and Dak was just taking a bite. He was having fun. He knew he already knew. Like that's why they put it in there. They had the turkeys set up in there because they knew they were going to go in there and kick their ass. And that's why they just knew they were going to have fun today, and they did, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see. And I believe we've got to keep this rolling. We've got to keep this on track. Got to keep the good times rolling. Dak seems really, really comfortable in this McCarthy's offense. And maybe it does take beating a bunch of inferior teams to get comfortable in this offense. Hey, so be it. That's okay with me as long as he can. As long as he feels good about this being in this offense, going against tougher teams. That works for me. But yeah, great win for my Dallas Cowboys. Now we'll look ahead to the next matchups. Let's start with this week's matchup. Before we get to next week, we'll go with what's going to happen Sunday Giants face the Patriots in New England. Obviously, we saw the Giants come off a big upset win versus the Patriots. And then I mean, not big upset win against Commanders. Now they're going to the Patriots. Patriots are coming off a bye. They had a bye last week after that horrible, disgusting game in Germany versus the Colts, where they lost 10-6. I mean, that was an awful game to watch. And now I think after coming off that win for the Giants, I think the Giants definitely have a chance. I mean, the Patriots haven't really said who they're going to throw out there at quarterback. Mac just seems like he's happy to be there. At least that's what he said in his press conference. So that we don't know what's going on. If they're going with Zappy, they're going with Jones. I don't think it matters. Their offense sucks and their team sucks. This is the worst team under Belichick as I ever had. I mean, they're crap all around. I mean, they have less wins than the New York Giants. They have 2 wins. Giants have 3, and they're still favored by 3.5 points. They're still favored to win, even on the road, which is amazing to me that they can be a 3.5 point favorite on the road in New York. That just shows you how much faith that the Vegas has in Giants winning this game. But I have faith in the Giants winning this game. I picked them last week. I'm going to go with them once again to beat the Patriots because there's nothing going on with the Patriots offense. I mean, they're so dysfunctional at quarterback. I mean, they just can't get it together at all. So at least the Giants look like something last week. DeVito had a good game. I think he's capable. At least you see that he's capable of doing that at least one time. So I think again, maybe he doesn't have the same day against the Patriots, but I think he can at least do enough to win this game. And yeah, I just don't see how the Patriots get any offense. I mean, they can get any offense against Colts. I don't think they can get offense against anybody, even against this Giants team that's not very good either. But I think the Giants can build off of some momentum, take it into this week, and get the win here. And also, like I said, just keep worsening your draft pick, Giants. Just keep doing that for me, so you keep getting the worse and worse quarterback, the quarterback you don't want, by getting the higher draft picks. So I appreciate you Giants getting these meaningless wins. So I hope you do. But we'll get into what's going to happen next week on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime there, and that is the Seattle Seahawks at my Dallas Cowboys. Thursday Night Football. Both teams played on Thanksgiving, so both are going to have the full week to prepare for this game. But Seahawks coming off that bad loss to their rival 49ers, and we coming off a huge win against our rivals. So very, very two directions we've been going in. Cowboys are on a high, Seahawks are kind of a low. Geno Smith was was questionable going into that 49ers game after the elbow injury. So you couldn't really tell if that was what was bothering him, or was it the 49ers were bothering him, seeing that they sacked him 6 times in the game. So I couldn't really tell if he was healthy or not, because even if he was healthy, I don't think he really had much of a shot going against that defense. And especially without Kenneth Walker in the game, they can get it really much of a run game. So they didn't have the run game. Geno Smith was half injured, so you really had not a lot going for you in that game. And I believe we have a similar pass rush to the Niners. We can get pressured like they can. So I think we can get after Geno as well. Probably get similar amount of sacks against him. So I like our defense against against their offense. I mean, I don't really see. Yeah, they got some weapons at receiver, um, but with how well Deron Bland's playing, with how well Stephon Gilmore's playing, I'm really not concerned with their what they have at receiver, and also um, as far as the run game, Kent Walker is still out. We'll see if he's out, still out on Thursday night. But we've been doing a good job so far lately against the run. Some I still like our chance to contain him. So hopefully we do that. And yeah, this defense, and then the Seahawks defense, they can be tough. They can be tough, definitely. Purdy did not have a great game against them. It was really a lot was on McCaffrey just making great plays for them. So maybe Pollard can get off on them too, similarly, and do some damage on the run game and have some big plays against them. If we can't do so much against their secondary. Um, but but it is our home in Dallas, and the way the Cowboys are playing at home is just spectacular. I mean, we're just so good at home. I just can't see that we're gonna, all of a sudden play bad. And just the way Dak has been playing at home, especially, is what's gonna really win the game for us. I just see him having another great performance against the Seahawks team. And like I said, if the O line just gives him time, we see how well he can pick apart a defense. I believe the with more and more time together, the offensive line is getting together because they really haven't had a lot of many games as a unit together. And the more games that they get in, the better they are. So I think they can have another good game against the Seahawks defensive line. And if that happens, then Dak will have plenty of time to do what Dak's been doing and continue to win ball games, continue to play well. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And we'll get I think we're going to get another easy win, to be honest, against this team. Seahawks aren't as bad as what we've been playing, but they're still not a great team. They're still kind of on a downslide, losing a few games recently. Especially just getting their ass kicked yesterday on Thanksgiving. So I see us kind of blowing out again. It's going to be the same kind of pattern that we've been going through, which is, we're going to, it's going to be a close game for a little bit, maybe a one-score game for a little bit, and we'll pull away. And, that's just kind of the pattern with us. And I think that's what's going to happen here. But I got 41-17. Like I said, it's going to be close for a little bit. Pull away, win big. So I like us to do that. Like Cowboys keep on doing what we've been doing, kicking ass. So yeah, that would pretty much wrap up that game, and that would wrap up our show. It's gonna be a short show today, obviously, because I don't have Ferris making on all his damn comments I usually, but that's okay. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so I hope y'all enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend. I've been enjoying mine, so hopefully you're enjoying yours. But that'll be our show. You can find me at NFL Kid 22 on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find me on this channel on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock doing betting the NFL. All we do on that show is try to make you guys money. We take our 5 best bets of the week. We give them to you. You can fade us. You can go with us. It doesn't matter. As long as you're making money, that's all we try to do. And yeah, so go and do that. Do all that. Go tune for that show, because definitely put a lot of research and time into that. So appreciate if you go and tune in that. But yeah, other than that, that pretty much be our show. But how about them Cowboys? Yeah.